You're fine as long as the horse is fine.
Yeah, I'm Dick. That's Buddy.
Buddy, you have to wait for us to get a water, buddy, okay? Just be calm. Be calm about it. It's all
Oh,
good.
you want the snack?
Oh, he wanted the food.
Buddy has a nickname. It's Squish.
Oh, good.
Squishy.
That works.
But so Buddy and I are both not from Charleston. I grew up in South Carolina. Buddy's from Amish country. I've lived for 19 years. Came originally for college. Got my degree in math.
And now you do this.
Naturally, I do horse history tours. A degree in
With an
math.
Amish horse.
He also does computers, and I do childcare.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we're photographers. So,
Nice.
it's all good.
I've had
You have to have multiple jobs to make it
weird
in this world.
jobs, yeah. Buddy was originally an Amish workhorse. That's where we get all of our horses from.
Okay.
Amishmen, communities like Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania
Yeah.
area.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, they only really use their horses until they're like 5, 10, then they're like
Really?
past their prime in their eyes. It's kind of the first slowing down point in their lives. And there's not too many options for a 1900 pound draft horse. They're not really for riding. You can ride a draft horse. You look kind of silly though because your legs will stick out a lot.
And as tall as they are.
Yeah, like almost twice the weight of an average riding horse. They're built to pull things. They're all draft horses. A French Percheron is his breed. The brown ones that you see are where they're not Clydesdales, although it's another kind of draft horse. Those are Belgian draft horses. But yes, we can pull up to 3 times his own body weight at a dead drag and 5 times his own weight with wheels.
Wow.
So yeah, Buddy can pull like a 4.5, 5 ton carriage. Unless y'all had a really big breakfast, we're well under that, don't worry. And they get plenty of benefits too. Well, the city actually mandates every horse gets a minimum of 180 days off every year.
Good. I was wondering about that.
Yeah, part-time gig for them. And oftentimes been out at the farm out on John's Island where they're just running around doing
That's pretty.
horse stuff, you know.
Right.
He's just
Get
hungry.
your snacks, buddy. Go ahead and carbo load. And they get their part-time job comes with benefits. They see the vet at least 3 times a year, the dentist twice a year. They get new shoes every 6 weeks.
That's awesome.
People might think I'm joking, but we seriously have a horse chiropractor and horse masseuse.
Well,
I'm
I mean,
sure you
they
do,
need
yeah.
to be,
Yeah.
they need to be protected.
I always say, man,
you
the
know?
horses union is really where it's at. I'm on the wrong side of this thing.
You get the
We
bun end. You get the bun
understand.
end of it.
Yeah,
We understand.
Literally, honestly, I got the best view in the city here. But y'all won't get hit with it, but Buddy is a city. This is the smallest government building in the state right here. I always joke say they got it at Lowe's. Oh boy, Buddy, are you ready to go this morning, honey?
He says, I'm up, let's move.
Get to the city. Well, yeah, beyond this stop sign, I don't know where we're going yet. Really reassuring to have your driver.
Oh,
tell
goody.
you, I know. I'll explain this process in 2 seconds. What's up? It's Dick and Buddy. Here's 194. Woo. And we got 2. Yes, ma'am. Yes, so the city, they broke the city up into 5 zones. On a busy day, there can be 28 carriages out on the street. And so we all go down the same road. You know, that's a nightmare. Horse pun intended. So, in that 1960s bingo machine right there is what they use to determine the zones. They spare
So
no
which one?
expense.
Yeah.
Get 5 different colored ping pong balls in the bingo machine. Whichever colored ball pops up, that's where I take you.
That works.
Ooh, hold on, bud. Hold on. And let's see.
All right, you're good.
Thank you. We're gonna. There's 2 ways to do this. A lot of people go that way. I like to do a little bit more roundabout way.
Yeah.
But it takes us through Ansonboro. Since y'all are photographers, I'm gonna show you one of my favorite shots in the city.
Okay.
It does mean we have to do the market twice.
Well, we went through the market this morning. So.
Well, then we'll do that. We'll go up 1 block and then we'll scoot around. We'll have to come back to the market, but we'll do this. We'll scoot
All
around.
right.
Yeah, that's
I'll
fine.
show you a cute little alleyway.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Yeah, welcome to the Holy City, guys. I mean, our nickname, like every business is Low Country this, Charleston that, or Holy City. We're nicknamed the Holy City, and I always say it's the potholes in the roads. But it is technically the churches. Over 80 active churches in Charleston. Now, people from big cities like Atlanta, Chicago, Philadelphia, they have like 80 churches. Sounds like a whole lot.
Rome is about an hour from Atlanta, hour and a
Yeah.
half.
Yeah, I thought it was around that. North?
Berry College,
West.
Shorter College.
What college is
Berry
it?
College
Berry?
is one of the big colleges in Rome.
well, Charleston is a small city, like physically.
Yeah.
We're sitting here on a little peninsula. So we're shaped like Michigan, Florida, surrounded by two rivers, the Cooper River on the east, the Ashley River on the west, only about 1.5 miles wide. And then it's only like a 3-mile stretch where people live, so 80 churches in that little space.
Makes
the
sense.
Holy City. Well, I say the Holy City nickname's got nothing to do with our behavior. Just as many bars, pubs, and taverns. You want to get drunk or pray, you came to the right city. Up in front of us now, this is probably, arguably the most important church in the city. This is St. Philip's Anglican Church. It's the oldest congregation in Charleston. Oldest congregation south of Williamsburg, Virginia, and not that there are old people that go there, but it's been around long. They've been meeting here since 1680.
Wow.
Since the city was founded 345 years ago. See, math degree, subtraction.
Oh, there you go. There you
Do
go.
it every day.
Yeah.
And they're busy doing a $14 million restoration project to their people.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, all paid for by the church. But
I was wondering why they were doing all that.
Yeah. So this church, it's the oldest congregation, but not the oldest church building. It's their third church. I mean, this one dates back to 1838. Their first one got knocked over by a hurricane.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can see it.
Second one burned in a fire. That one actually got damaged by our bad earthquake we had here in the late 1800s. So I would say you got to worry about earth, wind, and fire in the Holy City. Yeah. In the Anglican Church, the Church of England, originally we're an English colony. We're named after King Charles II. Originally Charlestown. But then after the Revolution, didn't want to be associated with those.
Right.
They thought really hard about changing the name. They dropped the W, and now it's just Charleston. Hardly recognized. And this is the first thing I wanted to show you. This is a popular little spot to go for photos. Philadelphia Alley.
Okay.
It used to be known as Duelers Alley. People would go back here and have duels.
Yeah.
But yeah, really cute. I see people doing wedding photography all day. And it connects to Queen Street.
Okay, good. So we'll be close to that area.
Yeah, I would have the whole French Quarter, which our route does not take us through. The oldest neighborhood is to our right, known as the French Quarter today, because they had a large group of French Protestants move over here. The second big group after the British first got here was a group of French Protestants fleeing Catholic-controlled France.
Okay.
And actually, Charleston did not allow Catholics at first. They had a strict, they offered religious tolerance. You could worship anything as long as you weren't Catholic. In an English colony, they had separated from the Catholic Church. And then also Spain and France were big rivals of England back then in big Catholic territory. So if y'all are Catholic, you weren't welcome in the 1700s, sorry.
No, we're
So
Methodists.
what is the primary religious here?
I mean, the Anglican Church is the mother congregation. People always assume Baptists and Charleston, but it's a good mix, honestly. Baptist, Lutheran, Presbyterian, I'd say we're big ones.
Yeah, I work in a church nursery that's Presbyterian.
There's at least 3 Methodist churches downtown that I can think of. Two or three.
Okay.
Yes, that's why we call it religious tolerance and not religious freedom. After the Revolution, true freedom of religion, everybody comes in.
Right.
Another one, which not in our route, but to add to your list of photographs or pretty place to take pictures, the Catholic Cathedral, the prettiest church in the city, I think. And it's bad tour guide etiquette to talk about things you're not in front of, but since y'all are here for photos,
Yeah.
I might think some pictures not in front. But yeah, there's only one Catholic cathedral. It's the head of the diocese for South Carolina and Georgia, I believe. It's one of the few stone buildings in the city. A lot of our buildings are actually just stuccoed over brick. And we'll talk more about that. Alright, so we've looped the market, but a lot of people don't like to do the 5B route this way, which this is actually like my second favorite route to do. Because if you do it my way, you go through Ansonboro neighborhood, which is the second oldest neighborhood in the city, and honestly, I think one of the prettiest. Yeah, we'll come back to the market.
Well, we did Rainbow Row last night.
Oh, okay. And to people, it's like the icon of the city, and
Yeah, I was amazed at that, to be honest.
hey,
Yeah.
I'm not trash talking it. Like I would take a Rainbow Row house in a heartbeat, But
Oh, I'm sure they're expensive.
the purple one over there sold for. This is like, man, pushing 10 years ago, $5 million.
Oh, wow.
To share 2 walls with your neighbors. You got bachelorette taking pictures outside your house. And then you saw their front yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah,
Our front yard is weeds. Our backyard is a mush pit because we live in Garden Lakes.
A lot of Charleston is mushy
Yeah.
too. It's a lot of land still in Charleston.
Right.
And let's see, back to my normal street, you see these you'll see these buildings that have these circles on them.
Yeah.
It's actually a good way to have a pretty good idea that a building is older than 1886. So they don't tell you this when you're booking your trip to come to Charleston, but we actually sit on a very active fault line, the Woodstock Fault.
Okay.
It's actually second in activity only to the San Andreas Fault in Southern California. And I've lived here for half my life. They say we have earthquakes every single year.
You never felt one.
Never felt one.
And people up from the West Coast always get a kick out of this. The last one that made the paper was a 3.3 on the Richter scale. I believe they called Tuesday in Los Angeles. I'd probably sleep through it. I doubt it makes the paper.
Probably.
But 1886, a 7.1 hits
wow.
Charleston August 31st around 9:50 p.m. And this one was so bad. People that lived through it said the streets rose and fell like the waves of the ocean.
Oh, wow.
Said to have rung church bells in Boston as far south as Savannah. I know the barn's that way, I know, bud.
But that's where I want to go.
Good tour, guys. Hope you had fun. Yes.
That's where he wants to go, is home.
But he does have a tendency to go over more southern. But he's super easy to drive. He's also kind of autopilot. He will be our next horse to retire. He's 19 or 20 now, which is kind of the top age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very old.
Oh, so sorry. Back to I didn't finish my
Oh, you're fine.
The circles. There's another building up here. So these circular discs that you see on buildings,
Yeah.
in that earthquake, a lot of brick buildings crumbled into pieces, but some survived, and the survivors have those circles on them. The buildings were so badly damaged, they really should have been torn down and rebuilt.
And they just didn't want
No,
to.
we're not going there either, bud. Oh boy, that's your other house, I know. But 1886, man, 20 years after the Civil War, nobody in Charleston has any money to do that. So they reinforced them with these. That circle's like a washer, and it's connected to rods. They go through the floorboards, and in the middle they're met by a turnbuckle. Big screw. They'd crank on that turnbuckle once a week or two, and it would slowly pull the walls back together and reinforce the building. So these are tension rods, quite literally holding the buildings together. I call them building band-aids.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
A good way to have a... Now, some people will add fake ones to their house to make it look older. We call those lick 'em and stick 'em. Mm-hmm. This is the shot though, that I wanted to show you.
Yeah, I can see that.
Beautiful.
They're kind of at the tail end of their blooming season. Y'all have crepe myrtles.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, when these all bloom with the
You want to get your phone out for a picture so you can paint it?
And then perfect examples of the Charleston single. You do see this funky sideways house all throughout the city.
Uh-huh.
They're called Charleston singles because they're one single room wide.
Wow.
You know, 1 room wide, 3, 4 rooms, connected by a hall, a shotgun style house anywhere else in the country. And you notice their front doors actually don't take you into the house.
Yeah,
Just
side
go
wood.
on that little, funky side porch. Which, be careful, what we both just did right there, don't want y'all to keep doing. That's no porch. Charleston is way too fancy for porches.
Oh, okay.
On the front of the house, they would call that porch, but this, they refer to as the piazza. P-I-A-Z-Z-A. Charlestonians, they've always, this sounds crazy, but they've always liked sounding fancy. And they've always liked Italian culture, which piazza is Italian, not Italian for porch. Plaza in the middle of town, but
So I guess they're also raised up high so they can prevent the water
you'll
aspect.
see, the floors are slanted. A
Yeah.
lot of houses do slant in Charleston again because a lot of it's built on landfill. This is part of the original geographical part of the city. Like, this is not landfill here, but the floors are sloped for rainwater runoff. But yeah, at the beginning of the American Revolution, Charleston was actually the 4th largest city in the colonies after Boston, Philly,
Right.
New York. They were the richest per capita too. Rice production and the port. So everyone thought, we're the richest people in the New World. We are fancy, man. We should sound as fancy as we are. Fancy people speak Italian, I guess, so they start calling the porch the piazza. The name sticks. I always say we don't have white wine on the porch in Charleston. We drink Chardonnay out on the pials. It sounds fancy, and it sounds crazy, but Charlestonians really do like that.
Yeah, well,
You have fun saying that, I'm sure.
I stole that one from one of the That's my favorite joke that I stole from one of those. And then the first reason I really like this route in particular, the oldest house in the city on our right, the white one.
I thought.
Which is a duplex today.
Wow.
Or a A and B, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the oldest, built in 1712, makes it the oldest. Confirmed by tax records. There's one on our longest cobblestone street they believe might be older, but there's no tax records to support that claim. So officially, this is the oldest house in the city.
The only thing that taxes are good for.
Yeah.
How old is it?
They really don't go toward Charleston's roads. But the guy that lived here originally was Colonel William Rhett, who actually got a big name for himself as a pirate hunter. He was known as the scourge of the pirates, and originally Charleston was okay with pirates, or at least like British privateers.
Okay.
They're messing with the French and the Spanish ships. Who cares? They're bringing that money here. Charleston don't ask them where they got it. One of our cobblestone streets, which older Charlestonians call them labor lanes. Say if your wife's pregnant, you want to induce labor.
Yeah.
A couple trips up and down any of the cobblestone streets, the baby pops right out. But so this relationship,
they're great. They're great for people with knee issues too.
I call them the ankle breaker street. And, I would say don't drive down unless you got a rental. And so this relationship with pirates really took a turn for the South. 1714, Edward Teach shows up in Charleston, better known as Blackbeard. And he and 3 other ships, they blockaded the harbor. They essentially held the city hostage and had about 40 real hostages too, one being the governor's nephew. They had demands, but it wasn't gold or silver like you might think. When there's kids on board, I always say these pirates have been to one too many port cities, met one too many friendly, nice ladies, and picked up some souvenirs along the way, namely syphilis. Which they treated, back then they treated syphilis with medicinal mercury injected into the site of the infection. But you're not supposed to touch mercury, let alone inject it into your bloodstream, leads mercury poisoning. And the field dance that happened to Edward, how he became this Blackbeard persona, mercury injections rotting his brain away. Anyway, the city wants him gone. They want the field back. The governor says, give him what he wants, get him out of here. They give him all this medicinal mercury, and he returns the hostages, but he returns them after taking all their belongings and most of their clothing.
Wow.
So yeah, he sends these aristocrats back like in their underwear. And the city says, like, we just gave you that medicine. That's how you're going to treat our people. The governor says we can't have that. He hired Colonel William Rhett back there to chase Blackbeard down, bring him to justice, and he never caught Blackbeard, but he did catch this other guy, Steed Bonnet, who was known as the gentleman pirate, not because of his demeanor, but he was actually born into a life of luxury in Barbados. Man had everything anybody could want at that point in time. Oh, and you want to go potty right now when the light changes. Excellent job, buddy. The city gives us this GPS clicker to whenever we have an accident, I press the button, it sends up the poopy bat signal. And they'll come spray down the urine with their lines or shovel poop. And now I gotta extend this story, bud. I was right at the punchline there, man. Yeah, so he chases Blackbeard, but he doesn't catch him. But he caught Steve Bonnet, who was born into a life of luxury in Barbados. He had a plantation, a wife, 3 kids. I think he went through like a midlife crisis, and instead of buying a Corvette, he bought a pirate ship. Well, which
Probably was a Corvette.
I feel like you should steal your first pirate ship. Like, that sounds way more piratey to me, but he clearly wasn't the best pirate. He bought a ship, paid his crew a living wage, and he got caught. They brought him and his crew back to Charleston, hanged him down by the Battery, where a lot of folks do take their wedding photos. We don't tell them they're getting married on old pirate bones, but y'all do take pictures down there, just keep our secret for us. Might actually be fake. I don't know.
They look fake to me.
They're not.
They look more plastic.
They're not evenly distributed either.
Right.
I feel like most of the time they are.
Yeah.
At least a little more than that.
Yeah, we call those looking and stickers. There's one building, and it's above a stairwell, so it's like, well, clearly there's no
Yeah.
on there.
Yeah, that one looked like somebody was doing a measurement and trying to figure it out.
Oh boy, quit.
See, we're staying at the Palmetto. That's where the wedding party and where all of our vendors. Palmetto.
Palmetto. It happens. We get called Palmetto Carriage work all the time.
But we stay there, and so everything is within walking distance for this couple.
That one's really new too. It's
Yeah,
on
very new.
Back when I used to do the pedicab, the bike taxis, and back then I knew all the hotels. Now there's new ones I'm not familiar with. The shopping district. It's really always been the merchant district too. I always joke and say, yeah, if you feel your ears popping, don't be alarmed. This is some of the highest ground in the city.
Yeah, we're not buying any of that.
You didn't see we were going uphill that whole time. King Street sits an outstanding 150 inches above sea level, and that does actually make it the high ground.
Oh my. And high fluteness.
Yeah, it's Gucci and Louis Vuitton, which Rack Room used to be across the street, which I always joked and said, yeah, we got Gucci over here and Rack Room over there. Something for everybody. Oh, we got number 2 as well, buddy? Yeah, you're up 2. Some horses never go to the bathroom on tour. Buddy's not. Yeah, yes, good, I know.
You need to start giving them beans.
And we almost completely missed our diaper. Yeah, we wear the battery out on. Speaking of fancy hotels, Charleston Place, this was actually the first kind of ritzy, swanky hotel built in Charleston in the 1980s. It was part of the mayor back then, his push to turn Charleston into a tourist destination. Our mayor of over 40 years, Mayor Joe Riley, he said we have to do something to turn this city around.
Yeah.
He said the market, these are the mayor's words, not mine. He said the market was the only neighborhood in America in the 70s for 50 cents. You could get a bowl of chili, a tattoo, and a communicable disease. Now we have Gucci and Louis Vuitton. So the plan took decades, but it didn't work out. Now we're one of the visited cities in the U.S. it feels like. There's a lot of the older Charlestonians there, kind of like borderline anti-tourism. But half of the people that live here, like, that's how we make our livings.
Yeah, that's how you
There's
thrive.
something like the older minority, they're tourists, man. But all of us that rely on the tourism are all for it. Yeah. All right, let's get out of the commercial digit here. We're going to go into the neighborhood. We're actually going to go to the portion of my neighborhood next. Oh boy, Squid, step on up, baby. Oh, here, so this is what I normally talk about, our stucco brick building. So you see, there's an earthquake rod.
Yeah, I see
There,
it.
but that one doesn't look brick. It is just stuccoed over brick building. There's only a handful of stone buildings in the city. Most are just this. The Europeans moving here early on didn't like the look of brick. It looked cheap to them. They're used to big grand stone buildings in Europe. But no quarries, no naturally occurring stone as far as South Carolina. Import stone, that was expensive and very time consuming. They said, hey, the cheap, quick way to have a stone looking house, you just build a brick one, you slap some stucco on the thing, draw some lines.
You're
Look,
good.
It looks like it's done. So, yeah, only, I think, 5, 6 truly stone buildings in the city. Most are like this, just quite literally. Sometimes you would use a finger or a tool and draw lines to make it look like stone. This, I'm kind of blocking it, but on the corner here, you can actually see the hand-drawn lines. They don't even match up. On the
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah.
Like, right above the hood, like, it's
Oh my
clearly
God.
Yeah, you're not
They
wrong.
didn't even take their time. This one was a popular establishment with sailors in the early 1800s. They actually had to change the name of this street to deter sailors from finding Madame Grace Pixano's establishment.
Yeah,
What Charlestonians like to call a house of negotiated affection. They don't like the B word, brothel. But, they changed this street from Beardsford to Fulton to try to dissuade sailors from finding it. But this was one of the last streets to get cobblestone. So when Grace has run this business, like this is a dirt road, and when it rains, muddy, bad for business, she goes to the city and she says, you know, it'd be great if you threw down some cobblestones. That'd help my business out. The city said, with all due respect, ma'am, we just changed the name of that street. We don't really want to encourage her to go to your sort of establishment. She said, okay, fine. You go home to your wives with muddy boots. Don't know where you've been. Then they cobblestone it really quick after.
Don't mess with the woman. They will get what they want eventually.
Buddy, you don't need a snack. Okay, go ahead, whatever.
It says, I'm hungry. I'm empty now.
We feed you 40,000 calories a day. All right, bub, that's enough. Now you're going to be misbehaving. Walk on, baby. You feel better? Go pick me up. Yeah, Madam Pixano, she actually had the second longest funeral procession of any Charlestonian ever.
Oh, I'm sure.
Nobody wanted to be seen at the Madam's funeral. A lot of the carriages that went in the thing were just empty carriages. I always joke and say, here we go, my house. Like I could afford this. You see the red and white X on it? I call attention to it because it's hard not to notice. The red and white X means it's been deemed unsafe, which I would say is a pretty good call.
Yeah,
I would
it's
say so.
a little
Yeah,
leading
I
and missing some
wanna spend
parts.
the night there, thank you.
It brings up a good point though. So anything older than 75, like your house is older than 75 years, gets deemed historic. And now, guess what? The exterior actually falls under the jurisdiction of the
Oh,
BAR.
no.
That's the Board of Architectural Review, which
So they can't do anything.
well, they can't. You've heard of an HOA?
Yeah.
The bars in HOA have been doing steroids since 1931. If you want to repaint the shutters the same color, you have to go to the bar. If you get a permit, it has to be displayed in the window. Only then can you work on that house you paid a couple $1 million for.
Oh, my word.
Which I'm all for it. I'm a renter. I don't do it then.
Yeah.
Gives me a job. Keeps the city looking pretty. I own really that. Probably
You just wish you had the $1 million.
Oh yeah. You don't want to listen to me talk though either. Also, back down there, they won't let you tear down a historic house until it gets to that state. Then you can, once it's deemed unsafe, then you can tear it down. And build
Oh,
it.
you can tear it down at least.
There's a bylaw that says only the hand of God can remove a historic building from the streets of Charleston.
Well, that sounds like
Give it a good couple
that sounds
rains.
like homeowners insurance. Only the hand of God. If your fence
Right,
gets torn
yeah.
down, which ours did, and we're like, yeah, so we
And
have
they
to pay
probably, they probably
fix
still
it.
gave
Yeah, they wouldn't cover any of the water that went underneath the house. Why? Because it didn't touch electricity.
We got three really pretty churches right here. The second reason I love this zone, the oldest Lutheran church, the second oldest church building in Charleston, the Unitarian church here, which you look at their graveyards, they couldn't be more different. Theirs is nice and neat and orderly. The Unitarian graveyard, all that room is for you, Hyundai. There you go. It's not a 350. You got it. Everybody thinks they drive a dually. Anyway, the Unitarian church, the gates open, means they're open to the public. It sounds weird to call a graveyard pretty, but this is one of the prettier parts of the entire city. Always something in bloom back here, and they do this garden thing intentionally. It's the style of an English garden. The Unitarians believe that life is cyclical in nature. Life's a circle, like Mufasa says. Circle of life. You bury here, it's like your body returns to nature, completes the cycle. Also, it's home to, honestly, my favorite legend in the city, Edgar Allan Poe. Not buried there, but he was stationed down here as a young man in the army. This much we know to be true, and it's believed that he fell in love with a local gal while he was here, named Annabelle Lee Ravenel.
Yep.
And her father did not like Poe at all. Liked him so little he pulled some strings, got Poe transferred up to Boston. Get out of here, man, you're not good enough for my daughter. While he's in Boston, he gets a heartbreaking letter that says Annabelle had contracted yellow fever and had died. Breaks his little heart. He wanted to come back to Charleston and sit at the foot of her grave and say a proper, formal goodbye. When he gets back down here, he found out that her father had bought 5 burial plots in the graveyard we just passed, put Annabelle in one, and left all 5 unmarked, and refused to tell Poe which one his daughter was buried in. People think that's when his writing became so dark and macabre and dreary. It's just spite and meanness, really nothing else. Didn't lead to one of his better poems, though. Annabelle Lee, in the verse he talked about his great love stolen away, locked in a tomb in a city by the sea. And then it ends under the verse up, the moon never shines, the stars never gleam, without bringing me dreams, the lovely Annabelle Lee. Some of the more haunting verses of American literature, man. They're written by a Charleston girl.
Wasn't that also a song at some point?
Anna Molly, Incubus has a song called Anna Molly, which is a play on the song, I believe. I don't know
I thought I remembered hearing something about one.
Yeah.
Oh, and I didn't even realize we will go by the cathedral. Here we go. This is the one I mentioned. This is probably my 3rd favorite building overall, which sounds weird, but you see them all the time. The Catholic Cathedral of St. John the Baptist.
Beautiful.
Gothic Revival style.
Yep.
Connecticut brownstone,
I got it.
not stuccoed brick. The original one was Connecticut brownstone too. The original one burned in a terrible fire that swept through the city in 1861. In this fire, it took out over a fifth of the city. It was one of the buildings they lost was the original cathedral. The pastor thinking to himself, "Hey man, stone church. Rocks don't catch on fire." He convinced people in the neighborhood to put their valuables inside the church to keep them safe from the flames. Yeah, it turns out brownstone doesn't hold up so well in the fire. The thing burns everybody's stuff inside of it. And speaking of insurance, he had been about 5 weeks late with the fire insurance check, and it had lapsed. So no insurance money to rebuild. They appealed to the Vatican, begging for funds. The Vatican said, this was 1861, they said, "Man, South Carolina, slave owners, they just throw that Civil War y'all got going. Yeah, good luck with your church." But they turned their backs on the congregation and rebuilt their own money, and they rebuilt most of it by 1907. Then they ran out of money. Couldn't put that steeple on. And they saved up, and they finally got enough money to add the steeple and finish construction in 2010.
Wow.
I moved here in 2006. It did not have a steeple from the 1861 fire. And this is some small idea of what working with the Board of Architectural Review can be like. Might not live to see the fruition of your effort. 149-year turnaround. But man, I'm telling you, it is pretty on the outside, absolutely breathtaking inside. That huge vaulted ceiling is painted like the night sky.
So you basically hate to be an architect in this area.
See, I never really cared for like architecture or like plants until I moved to Charleston, but we are surrounded by
Like with his
Yeah.
brother is, he went to school for architecture.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of wish they had added a degree for that at the college in Charleston. I would have taken that.
Yeah.
I remember I took intro to architecture. That was one of my favorite classes.
We'll do whatever you tell us is best.
Yeah, this neighborhood we just entered. We're in Charleston Village now. It's like Charleston, but you dropped the sea. Where am I gonna go for this? Sorry, I got Buddy.
I'll keep going. I was going to let you go.
You're gonna be stuck behind me and Buddy now.
That's all right.
This is O'Malley. O'Malley is
Hi,
native-born Charlestonian. She's our only horse born here in Charleston. They bought her mother at auction and didn't know she was pregnant, so we got the 2-for-1 deal. And like any good,
How did you not know?
I don't know. That's what I said. That's what I said.
Just wouldn't you get checked out quite
I don't
often?
know if you noticed, but O'Malley pinned her ears back at Buddy.
Uh-huh.
She's sweet as can be with humans. Other horse, I always say she's a real Charlestonian. She lets all of the horses know that this is her city and they just moved here. There's a way you can tell a native Charlestonian too. You know how you know someone's from Charleston? You just wait, they'll tell you. 5 minutes of me, I'm born and raised. Okay, buddy, got it.
Or do like us and say the name wrong.
Charleston there is a very distinct Charleston accent. It's not Charleston, it's Charleston. They elongate all the vowels. I could sort of mimic.
What is it in Rome? What's the one that everybody messes up? That we always get
Everybody
our little
messes up.
town.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's a couple of French streets too that they horrendously mispronounce. Huger. Hug Street.
Who, G Street?
Hug. Yep. Huger.
I would not have thought that.
Yeah, there's one in Columbia where they pronounce it like that too, where I'm from. And then Legare is Legree instead of Legare. They love naming, or like the Piazza is not Italian for porch. It's Plaza. They love mispronouncing stuff. Let's see. Oh, the story how the bar got started I really like. In 1920, there's a lady in Charleston named Susan Pringle Frost. Hyphenated last name, Pringle, like the chips. Frost, like Robert Frost, not related. She started the Preservation Society. She started telling folks, let's save our old architecture for future generations. And back then, a lot of people said, why? So they're from the 1800s, like, why save these? Knock them down, build something modern. Susan did not listen to them. She stuck to her guns, and because of her, in 1931, Charleston actually became the first historic district in America.
Wow.
And they have expanded the historic district over the years. It's about 98 square blocks there, around 1,000 acres, which makes us the second largest historic district in the world. second only to Rome, Italy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, we know Roman. We know it's
Little Charleston's the second. It's all because of what this one lady started, fought for, and really dreamed up for the city. That's also an outcome. That one's not deemed unsafe yet. We call that preservation by neglect. It's like, yeah, they're definitely preserving it. They're not painting it neon green or anything, you know. The bar can't force you to do any work to your house. They would like you to, I'm sure, but
Just like anybody else, it
you
matters.
can let the little dog see the horses in there. I just want.
He's probably
Oh, yeah.
saying it's bigger than me. I'm not messing with
It's
it.
always the little one. The bigger dogs, they're always like looking curious, like, why is that doggy so big? The little one's always.
Like, what kind of dog is that?
Yeah. All right, this is Smith Street. This is my street. Welcome to the neighborhood. You can say to the kitties if y'all want.
I'm about to say, you're not just leaving us here and say bye.
No, this is where I normally go. Buddy is notorious. Some of our slower horses. It's actually a good pace for Buddy. This is quick for Buddy. Now, the further west you go in the city, the more you start to see houses like this. Look at the lean on number 6.
Oh, wow.
Oh gosh.
Pretty significant to the left.
Just
Now-
a wee bit, yeah.
Now look down this driveway. You'll see toward the back, it leans right.
Oh,
my
yeah, you're
goodness.
right.
There's that one little section in the middle that's level, but and I lived in a house like this about 5-6 years ago. My dog back then, he learned he could play fetch with himself. He would drop the ball at one side and roll, and he'd yo-yo himself back
Yeah.
and forth. But yeah, the further west you go to the carriage's left, the more you actually get onto landfill, which the city today, like as the population grew, at first they just kind of fill in the marsh, eventually the tidal creeks, eventually the rivers themselves. Today, 40% of Charleston is on man-made land, landfill, what Charlestonians like to call reclaimed land. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's really dumb. Land. But yeah, you look at a map of Charleston, like the 1700s, like this section right here, it's on the map, it's just colored in blue because it's part of the river, and actually the next intersection was a beach.
I kind of wonder with some of these houses that are leaning like that, if you kind of almost purposely wish you had furniture that leaned the opposite way.
Well, when I lived in that one that I was talking about, man, we would have friends over and we'd have a couple beers on the couch, and I would tell them, like, man, after 3 or 4 beers, like, you gotta stand up and lean right, or you are gonna go left.
Or how about this? If you only know you're drunk when you feel like you're standing up straight.
That, I mean, you can see it, like the door frames.
Yeah.
A lot of them. I mean, settling obviously still happens, but it's an extreme form of settling. Well, oftentimes they didn't use best practices. They used burned up pieces of buildings from any of our great fires, household garbage, literally manure from carriage horses. Stuff that kind of degrades, sinks over time. It gives you dips in the land, and rainwater will collect in those. It'll make big puddles.
We know
I am
all
amazed
about
at-
rainwater.
Oh, okay.
I am amazed that y'all have so many fires, though, to
We
be honest.
can't.
Well,
We can't cut it rains in our area. We can't cut our grass
For at least a
for
week.
like 2 weeks.
I mean, this is definitely like the rainy season.
Yeah.
Where oh boy.
Yeah, that's what we were a little concerned with. Is like, you do realize it's rainy season right now?
It only ours. It goes out with the tide, and it really only floods back. It's got to be a pretty significant rainfall for it to affect us at low tide. When it's high tide, like I said, King Street's the high point of the city, and the market sits about a foot above sea level.
Oh, does it? Okay.
So you got high tide, and well, especially like a new moon or a full moon, that'll really affect the tide.
Yeah.
And it rains on top of that. I mean, it doesn't have to rain. It'll flood the market without a drop of rain.
Oh gosh.
The real reason I like to come down to my street is the big one. That one looks big until you see that one. This one was originally a single family home. It is a hotel today.
I'm about to say, I thought it was a
It's called
hotel.
the Wentworth Mansion today, although it was the Rogers family that built it, Francis Silas Rogers. So I say, yeah, my neighbor Mr. Rogers lived in this one. Welcome to the neighborhood. It's just shy of 19,000 square feet. They were going for 20 children. They stopped at a cool 13.
Oh, they almost got a half a football
Still
team.
Never see it. Right? Yeah, baseball team. You still never see each other. I think maybe that was the point. I don't know. But and so he builds this in 1886, Mr. Rogers, right after that earthquake and right after the Civil War, and Charleston is really hurting financially, he builds this thing out of Philadelphia red brick. It's like, read the room, dude. Not the time to be showing off how well you're doing when the rest of the city is dirt poor.
Yeah.
He made his money, and people would add accents to their house to denote how they made their money. The little squares
Yeah.
are supposed to be cotton balls, which cotton was actually not Charleston's cash crop. That was actually a distant third. Rice is what made Charleston rich. Rice. Indigo was a close second. Indigo for blue dye. But we're a big port city, so a lot of the regions cotton was shipped out of there.
Makes sense. Uh-oh.
Easy, honey. Okay, honey.
Sorry, buddy. We didn't mean to bring you down during trash day.
Buddy is, I don't want to jinx us, but Buddy is borderline bomb-proof. Not much for he'll probably still be looking for snacks on
I'm about to say, if there was a piece of grass, he'd be happy right now.
truck. We keep talking about Lord Mansion. So, yeah, today a hotel. Mansard roof on it, so second empire style of architecture. She likes architecture.
Yeah.
I don't normally hit you with that one, but
Yeah, we like it, you know.
And it has the little cupola up top too, that little random room on top.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
An Italian feature. Good views, obviously, but it also doubles as a way to cool your house off before air conditioning. Hot air rises. You open those top floor windows. You open the bottom floor windows. You get some upward air movement going throughout the building. He added the extra large cupola because once he retired from the cotton shipping industry, he became a fire marshal. He would hang out in the cupola late night. He would look out for fires in the city. Although he built this after our last great fire. They have a really good restaurant back there too. It's their family's old Carriage house. It's called Circa 1886. If you're looking for some real fine dining, I believe it's the only Michelin star rated restaurant in the city.
Wow.
They used to have antelope on the menu. I'm not sure if they still do.
Antelope.
Yeah, and they have asparagus ice cream too. Yummy.
Yeah.
I've never.
Bacon.
Yeah, it can't be much better.
I like asparagus. I don't want it in my ice
I
cream.
don't mind asparagus. Here in the Low Country, although I think some of this is reproduction, but I'm not gonna make that bad. But Charleston brick is actually really a weak. Whoa, bud, hold on. You know the red light. It's a weak brick. All the clay that they found here is really porous. That'll translate into the brick. So little like microscopic holes that water can find its way into, and it gets stuck in there. If the mortar is equally porous, they eventually figured then that water doesn't get trapped. But if it's not porous mortar as well, summer comes, that water trapped in there expands, breaks the bricks apart, leads to spalding.
Right.
So this was another reason they would stucco over things, but it did add like a layer of shielding or protection for the bricks. So not purely cosmetic. Oh, and this is something to keep an eye out for in the city. In between 132's door and their window to the right, there's that little black circular plaque right above the hood of the Jeep.
Yeah.
It looks like nothing. You walk right past it. You wouldn't give it a second thought. It's a very highly sought after award for historic preservation.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
So they've done a good job with everything to it.
If you see that on a house, I would say take a couple extra minutes and really kind of appreciate how much time and effort and love and
Well, I looked at it, but I wasn't quite sure what it was when we passed by a few of them before.
It doesn't really say on it, but
No, it doesn't.
And it looks like nothing, but it's highly prized. Sometimes you'll see they have two sets of laurel leaves under them too. That means that house has won it multiple times.
Oh. Yeah, because I looked at one when we just randomly walked down a lane of houses.
Latin for the land of Charles.
Yeah. It would have been nice for it to have some more information.
Now, certain streets are littered with them, like Anson Street, that first street went up. My neighborhood, you see a couple.
I think it must have been Anson that we went down because there was a whole bunch of them.
Like every other house has one.
I thought it was just a marker for where the house was, kind of thing.
Yeah, it'll say 16,
But see, that's why you
18.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
come on tours like
Which
this,
is
so you can learn a little bit about
founding
the
of the
history.
city.
Yeah, that's what I thought the number was just a marking from where it was.
And they don't have the year of the award is too long.
Make a doorway.
So we're actually coming up on the College of Charleston here, which, again, like I call it a graveyard tree. That sounds kind of strange. I always tell people, man, walk through the College of Charleston campus. Did you walk through when you were?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Step G, baby. Step G, G, G.
Whoa. Just take up the road, why don't you?
A lot more control of that vehicle, man. Good boy, buddy. Good boy. Go to bed.
How was that?
Travel and Leisure magazine nominated them most beautiful campus in America. a couple years
Yes.
ago. And anywhere you see this brick pattern, or the college is walking around.
Well, that was one of the draws that I had to it as well, huh? Because being for photography and everything, I was wanting to be able to get all the trees and everything to it.
Anywhere you see that herringbone brick pattern on a sidewalk, that usually denotes that you're on the college campus, which is the 13th oldest college in the nation.
Yeah.
1770 it's founded. And then we'll talk a little bit more about the college, but first, Grace Episcopal. This is actually the building that I first fell in love with, and it really did kind of ignite my love of architecture. Gothic revivals. I like the cathedral we saw, but unlike the cathedral, which is Connecticut brownstone, this one is brick with stucco on it. You see the earthquake rods on the buttresses there. This does go to show you how creative and ornate and detailed they were able to get with, literally just bricks with some mud slapped on top of it.
That is amazing.
You can see their bell up in their steeple. You can see their bell too, which is actually not the bell that they ring. Boy, that's key, bud. That's key, honey.
Get to it.
Oh well.
Yeah, Grace Episcopal was the last church to remain open during the Civil War. It actually took some damage during the Civil War. A cannonball flew through the sides of one of the stained glass windows and took out several pews. Service was not going on at the time, thank goodness. What, bud? What, bud? And a lot of the tour guides don't like going by the college session because all the college kids have expert opinions on horse care, and we get called all sorts of names.
Oh no.
But it's too pretty to skip, I think. Over here you got the Greek life houses for the college. They give them these beautiful Victorian era houses for the frat and sorority houses.
Is that what that's for?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, makes sense. There's a sign.
I love they put the AstroTurf down this year. Kids weren't doing a whole lot of gardening, I guess.
Yeah.
They played one football skirmish, which they won, and they've never had a football team since. Undefeated since 1770, baby. Pretty good record.
Did they? I wonder if all the people got any kind of scholarships after that.
We have a top-notch sailing team. Our basketball team made it to the Sweet 16, I think, maybe. They made some progress.
Wow.
You can actually see a couple more piazzas. Those piazzas are always on the same side of the house as their neighbors, too. They're always going to be on the west side on the east-west street. They're always going to be on the south side on the north-south street. And it really is for privacy. Before air conditioning, man, that was your best bet for cooling off.
Makes sense.
I mean, people would spend a good majority of their day out there. Just waiting on a little breeze to come by. And while you're out there, ladies might roll a stocking down. Or worse, guys might wear a short sleeve shirt. Yikes. Forearms, ankles, and elbows out, man. You don't want to be seen like that. So you put your piazzas on the same side. Your neighbors do. You don't have to look at each other to cool off. And then the fake door thing did have a purpose. It's called the privacy door. If you're out there cooling off, you don't want to be bothered, you just shut your door.
That makes sense.
I walk by y'all's house, I see it shut, even if we're pals. I know that means eyes forward, keep on marching. They're not accepting company. There was just a certain level of expected privacy on your piazza. Some houses even included the square footage. On the flip side, your home and you're accepting company and we're pals. I see it open.
Go on in.
Not like an open invitation.
Right.
It does mean it'd be all right to at least say hey or something. We actually had some of the first peeping Tom laws in the country. You were caught peeking on someone's piazza, none of this Piazza peeking back then, man. Which nowadays nobody cares, peek away, but it was like a $5-10 fine back then, which was fun.
Oh, that was a lot of money back then, though.
Miminger Elementary right here. They tore down the old elementary school about, I think I was a kid, like maybe 15 years ago. But they wanted to tear down the old one, build this one to kind of update it, modernize it. When they tore up the playground right here, they uncovered about 200 pounds worth of Union cannonballs in the Civil War.
Really? Yeah.
Which sounds like a neat little archaeological find, but Civil War cannonballs were often hollowed and loaded with gunpowder and nitroglycerin.
Uh-oh.
See, it turns out every kid playing on this playground since the Civil War have been playing on a minefield, essentially. Miracle no one ever got hurt. They say if you find a cannonball, you are supposed to call the bomb squad.
Oh, really?
If it's from the Revolution, it is probably, or if it's like dented, people say, they've been reused. So Revolution, it's balls of metal. But Civil Wars, yes, when they got creative. Which a lot of them did not detonate as intended. I'm sure plenty did. Yeah, Charleston was devastated by the Civil War, in fact. There was a 587-day siege of the city. Harbor had been blockaded, big Union gunships out there. Every hour they'd rain cannonballs down the city. For a year and a half, instead of church bells on the hour, you heard boom, 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 boom. Anywhere you see big stretches of modern-looking buildings, probably one of our great fires or damage from the Civil War. There are photographs that exist of Charleston post-Civil War. If you just Google that, Charleston post-Civil War, you'll see huge sections of the city are just leveled. William Tecumseh Sherman even skipped over Charleston, saying there was nothing left to burn on his famous march to the sea. This is a little more lighthearted story. This one was originally a speakeasy back during Prohibition. It was called the Blind Tiger. Guy that owned it, Vincent Chico, he starts telling folks that he had a pet tiger, which he didn't. But he told people his tiger was blind but well trained, and that it could do tricks, he could dance, he'd jump through the flaming hoop, and he'd sell a really expensive ticket to come see this little circus kind of show. Expensive tickets, he tell you tigers aren't cheap. But while you waited on the show, he would give you free alcoholic waiting beverages. So he had this little loophole. He sold you the ticket. He gave you the alcohol. The tiger just happened to always have a tummy ache or a sprained pinky when it was showtime. He'd come out and say, "All right, guys, show's canceled." When you know it, tiger's sick again. He can't come out. Sorry, but enjoy your free alcohol, which I didn't sell you. Eventually, the state police get word they. But before they got here, man, people copied it pretty quickly. We had blind chickens, blind dogs, blind cats, blind pigs, all throughout the city doing this. And there is still there is a restaurant called the Blind Tiger, which is one of those establishments. That was the original one back there, though. And on the right, very exciting part of the tour, our not so historic Target, which Target used to be Saks Fifth Avenue. A lot of people said, "Wow, what a downgrade." I say huge upgrade.
Yeah.
I have spent so much more money at Target than I ever did at Saks Fifth Avenue. And we'll be back about 10. Which, what y'all's hotel's named after them?
Yeah.
Before the at the beginning of the Revolution, fearing an English attack, Charleston built an additional fort. Oh, and there's the 8 stories of the Charleston place. They built this extra fort out on Sullivan's Island in case the English attack. For the walls, they used those. But if you ask me, it doesn't really look like fort building material.
No.
The tree version of me, I like to say, tall and skinny, not much to it. The thing's only halfway done, June 28, 1776, when 9 British warships sail into the harbor under the command of Admiral Peter Parker. Angry British Spider-Man came to town. They start firing. The first shot sets the tone. First cannonball hits the wall. Thing bounces off. Turns out the palmetto's real squishy. Hit it with a cannonball, they either get embedded or bounce off. This tree saved the city. Some of the colonists saw what was happening. They run out there and picked up cannonballs. So they put them back in our cannons, which were British made, so British cannonballs were the right size.
As long as it didn't
explode. Returning fire, literally.
So you forgot something?
This is in June of 1776, the beginning of the Revolution. Back then, Charleston's the 4th largest city, a major port. If they hadn't used that tree, Charleston would have been captured day 1, year 1 of the Revolution. Cold War might have gone differently had they had a port to resupply. We might all be speaking British instead of English today, if it weren't for the palmetto tree. Now, Charleston did get captured later on, but we don't like to tell that story.
Right.
The same guy that did that last Gothic church we saw also did this building. Hey bud! E.B. White, not to be confused with the author of Charlotte Webb, my favorite Charleston architect. He liked Gothic, really fancy, and classic revival, really simple. Nothing really in between. The market hall is today actually the oldest building in the market, even though the market predates it. It is 1841. Yeah, built to kind of cap it off. Downstairs actually used to be the meat market. The butchers were down here. Top floor, a lot of things over the years. Originally a social gathering hall, then a school at one point. Civil War Museum today. Really good Civil War Museum. They even have a lock of Robert E. Lee's hair. Which, I like a good museum. Don't know if I really care to see Robert E. Lee's hair, but...
I'm actually amazed it still is around.
He was a brunette, apparently. Oh yeah, 5 and 9. I call it 15 and a quarter the way inflation would go. Yeah, there she is. Alright, the market. So, market opens up in 1807. And you will hear people mistakenly call it the old slave market.
Yeah.
Not to try to downplay or deny Charleston's role in the slave trade, man. Charleston was the epicenter of the slave trade. In fact, it's estimated some 40% of all enslaved West Africans that came to the U.S. came through Charleston first. They say 1 in 5 African Americans alive today can trace their heritage back to Charleston. This is actually the one part of the city we know for a fact knows there are bought or sold because it was a farmer's market. Like I said, meat down there, produce and sundries all throughout the middle. Used to be a couple more stalls that some tornadoes took out in the 1930s. That was where the fish market was. People were sold just about everywhere else in Charleston, but never here at the market. And before it was the market, this was nothing more than a tidal creek. A little river ran through here called Daniels Creek. And yeah, back then there were about half a dozen markets kind of scattered throughout the city, and they wanted to just consolidate them all, get them all in one spot. So they filled in Daniels Creek. The goal was to get it 6 feet above sea level. Just barely missed that mark by 5 feet. You are 1 foot above sea level, and man, if we get that rain,
It's everywhere.
East Bay will be okay. Don't try and go to the market. It will actually probably be blocked off. You see this gate.
Well, we did the.
I was wondering what that was for.
So we're good.
If it doesn't rain, though, they do have the night market tonight, Fridays and Saturdays. So these vendors, as you can see, there's no security. The vendors actually bring in everything every morning, take everything back every single night.
Yeah.
Every day except for Christmas.
Well, we thought it was interesting when we tried to do it yesterday. We thought from looking online that it was open until 7 o'clock. Everybody was gone before 5.
Oh, yeah. It's slow, so we'll pack up early.
Yeah.
But Fridays and Saturdays, when the weather's nice, which is...
Not this time.
Yeah. They might not have it tonight. But yeah, 6:30 to 10:30, when it's nice out, they have the night market. A second group comes in. Everything sold in the night market has to be made in South Carolina.
Wow.
It is a lot of local artists, craftsmen. Not the day market, anything wrong with the day market, but the night market